Oh, right. So what's happening is we're not doing good. The sales are down, and we're not getting properties under contract very well. And then when we're talking to people, we know we're not getting the problems out of them, and we need to do better. You girls need to do better. Leica is gonna review this recording after, and she's gonna tell me what she thinks. But essentially, is this guy here, Williams? His wife passed away, and he told you, right, Norlands?
Yes, sir.
Did you tell him that the process is not as easy as everyone thinks? Something like that?
Yes, sir. That's why, sir, she discussed the deed, the death certificate. I'm so sorry.
Right. But even with that, it might not be as simple as just like, oh, give me your death certificate. We're never going to know until we start the process. And we're never going to start the process till they sign the contract, right? So again,
Yes, sir.
put in your heads, if someone thinks it's too easy, oh no, you just send the death certificate, it's easy. I was like, why haven't you fixed if it's that easy? We hear that all the time, but unfortunately it's not easy. We can do our best to fix it, and we will do our best, but we can't guarantee, right? On this case with this guy, and he replies back to me in an email on my other email, and I think I offered too much money for this guy. This is what I said. Where is it? I just sent him the email. We need to be more aggressive with the sellers, and we need to understand what's going on with them, okay? So here's the email. He's like, it's been a pleasure communicating. Share is the C's. I understand the recording, the certificate, and affidavit, the address, dependency, blah, 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 blah. I was like, thanks for the email. To fix the problems like the one you have where your wife passed away and her name is still in the deed, it's not as easy as everyone thinks. The title company must conduct this search and confirm how you hold title. After reviewing the land, I believe my assistant made an offer relative to what is selling in the area. And that's not your fault, the offer, right? I put it too much in there. I don't know what happens. And anyways, the lot's heavily wooded, which will require additional clearing costs for us, and the title issues add another level of complexity and fees. From what I can see, I can only offer one solution at that price. I would like the freedom to advertise the land to all my buyers and potentially receive a $3,000 check for it. I would hire the photographer, pay all closing costs, and realtor fees and advertising costs. If that interests you, please let me know. So, I'm moving him away because I can't sell that land for much money that will be worth it. Really, it's like the comps are not good. And it's very wooded. There's nothing in there. I'm pretty sure there's no water, sewer. I'm trying to get away. Remember, maybe this offer was done a long time ago, and I'm trying to get away from this junk. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the offer was here for a long time, right?
2024, sir.
Yeah, and we gotta tell him, Oh, Barbara. So wow, she passed away She passed away not too long ago, 2024. Anyways, the ball is on his court. I'm not willing to get this under contract unless he gives me the rights to do everything that I want. And that's a different contract. You know the contract, right, Norlands? The MLS contract?
Yes, sir.
Where we can put the property for sale everywhere. Every single place. And that would be a good thing to do. Anyways, another thing that I noticed. Let's have the link that Shini sent me. And with Ajay, you have to understand, right? The seller... Oh, first, what are we going to do next? Let's say, Joy, a seller accepted an offer right now on the phone. Yeah, I accept your offer. What we do, we send the contract and then we just follow up. We're not going to do that anymore. This is what we're going to do, and you need to pay attention. We're going to tell them, oh, awesome. Let me work on the contract. What time should I call you back so we can review the contract on the computer? And then when they tell you the time, you're going to call them and you're going to be on the phone with them, and then you're going to press send on PandaDoc. We're not sending it before. So the reason is I want them to be on the spot. I want them to review that contract with you right away and with you on the phone. Because if they have questions, I want you to answer the questions, and I want to get that contract signed right away. Too many people say, yeah, I accept your offer, and then they ghost us, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we have to do. No sending the contract before. We get the email and everything. We're like, hey, what can I call you in 30 minutes so we can review the contract online? Are you going to have access to your computer? Something like that. It's easy, right, to say. And that's when we're going to call. And if they answer, great. We send the contract right away and like, oh, okay, go to your email address. Let's do it right now. Okay? If they don't answer, you don't send. You're going to hold that contract with you. You're going to put it here on the file and follow up boss. Okay? And you're going to only send when they are on the phone with you live. Okay? Joy had an offer like in Nevada. You know, something okay, something good, but the person is not replying back. I noticed today. I was like, this has to stop. I'm like, we have to be better. And you know, there could be things that will come up in the call that you might not know, and you can ask me, or they might not be ready to sign the call. But I think if we do that, our chances will increase of the agreement signed. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, this is the property here that I sent it to Sheeny that we need to talk today. So when you're making an offer for this big parcels in Texas, we gotta tell them what we do. We need to explain that we do subdivisions and we need to make a large investment to make the lot sellable, and that's why our offer is that. I'm just, we're gonna go the extra step. We're gonna tell them. An example, let's open this property right here, right? Let's see what's going on. Wind. And I wrote it down, dirt access, no water, no electricity. Are we saying those things when we're on a call with them before we make the offer?
We would explain to them, sir.
So we are.
My manager has,
Go ahead, please.
My manager has checked the lot or checked the land, and upon checking, we can see here that there's no road access and there's no water or electricity and there's no sewer in this area. So that is why our offer for the land is blah, 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 blah.
Right, good job, yeah. It's a good lot. It's a very good lot, actually. If we go right here, and you can always do, right? You should be looking at the property so you're talking to them the same language, like they do about their land, right? There's corn. This looks like corn, right? And you can ask him where you grow. Like, they don't make money being agricultural. They do not make money, guys. They barely make any money. There's electricity right here. And that's why I didn't say electricity in there. I said, oh, we have to remove that. You see, even myself, I make mistakes, and it's your job to check too. No water. Electricity is there. I just saw, right? There's a house right here, and there's a pole in here, so might be not electricity on the land, but it's easy to hook up because it's so close by, right? The properties, one of the properties, the house is right here, and the land that we're making an offer is right here, right? There's no windmills on the property, which is a good thing. No windmills. If there's windmills, we're going to tell them, oh, there's a windmill, and then, if there's a windmill in the property, or if there's power lines, it reduces the space where you can build. Does everyone agree to that? Because that space right here is being taken by the road, by this giant thing. And there's one more thing. It's not just this space that's not usable. Every single company, they have what's called a setback, and then you cannot build, like, let's say 25 feet next to the property in all angles. So you cannot build here, you cannot build here, and in all sides you cannot build here. So it's not only like, let's say this is 5 acres. It's not 5, it's like 8, or it's like 10. And you need to be the expert on that. You need to understand that. And I should be making more calls like this, but this is the start, because we need more contracts. Okay? We need at least 5 a month. At least, minimum, bare minimum. And like, what have you been learning, Shini, from Ajay when you go to his calls?
Actually, sir, I was late, so...
No. From in general, like, not from today call. What have you been learning from going to those calls?
Oh, actually, it's just the same, sir, as usual. To listen to the seller and then to know the property better, you need to go on the data tree first and then look at it and then see if it's a good lot, just like that, sir.
But Ajay doesn't
That's the
check
very
the
important
Ajay
thing.
doesn't check the lots in there. He's checking the calls. And what have you learned by
Yes.
listening to those calls?
Yes, sir. The very thing that I learned is that we need to listen to the seller.
Okay,
Just that, sir. Because
right. Keep going, please. Don't stop.
yes, sir, we need to listen to them and sound confidently. Also,
Okay. So you gotta ask questions. You gotta ask why. Oh, I'm not
yes,
interested in selling that land because I saw that a lot next door was selling for $50,000. And then you're gonna say something. Lots are not selling for that in the area with and for because I think they set a number, right? Anyways, lots are not selling for a lot of money in that area. That's what I noticed. And when you have the lot listed, there's a 10% agent fee. How about you, Joy? What have you learned from Ajay?
Yeah, what I have learned from a chaser is build rapport to the seller and respect sellers' decision if ever the seller will not accept the offer. And if the seller is already died last year, show some sympathy to the sellers.
Some empathy. Yep, yep. That's a good thing actually.
Yes.
How about you, New Orleans?
Um, for based on the calls with Ajay's there for the following months, for the past following months, I learned how to object on the call and sometimes let them talk all the time. Do not interrupt when they're saying something, and also keep the loop or just ask questions and don't be like don't be a dead air like just talk if you can and also listen to that.
Okay, it's you got to learn how to ask the questions. That's the thing that you have to learn. When they tell you why they're not accepting our offers, we need to understand why. Is it a spouse? Oh, I have to talk to my wife. Is it the price? Is it the timeline? What is it? It's like that they don't have trust on us, right? You got to know so we can do better when we make the calls with them. So that's an area that you have to work on it, and you're gonna work on it by like listening to podcasts, listening to videos, and just pushing the sell. Not giving up. You can't give up when they say, "Oh no, it's too low," and like, help me understand why my offer is too low. And they're gonna make something up, and it's your job to be like to hear them, and at the same time to go back with another thing. Let's say they said like Ajay is always like this, right? They say, hey, the offer is too low. I'm like, and how do they come up that the offer is too low, right? They check the market and we say, hey, I understand that you checked the market and everything, and what's the reason why you haven't selected an agent to sell it? Because he might be able to get you more money than what we're offering, right? An agent will put it for sale everywhere, but he will charge you 10%. And we're not charging that, right? 5% to the seller side, 5% to the buyer side. And they don't do as good job as we do. Yeah, and I think this is a great offer for us, and that's, I need to know why, if they say, no, it's too low, oh, because I received, why do you think it's too low? I received an offer for $10,000. When did you receive that offer? Right? Ask them the question 5 years ago. 5 years ago, it's totally different than now. If they receive it yesterday or last week, last month, great, take that offer. But if it was a long time ago, it's not good anymore, the price. And there's a lot of people like, I was sold to someone else, and then they don't, it was under contract with someone else, and then they didn't buy it. And you do a good job at asking, like, why do you think that they didn't buy it? What happened? They usually make something up. 90% is a lie that they will tell you, oh, the buyer could not get the financing. Never the problem is with the land. It's always the buyer's problem. But at least we know that. So that's what we have to do, okay? We need to set a goal, at least 5 contracts a week. The numbers have been a little bit lower than that. I think we're getting close. I think we're getting 4 a week, right? Actually, it should be more. It should be like 7 to 8 lots a week. There's nothing that will stop us with the amount of people that we have on the team. Nothing could stop us from getting to 7 properties a week. You know, there's like 4 of you making offers plus myself, but you're the ones who make more offers than me all day long. So if each one of you can get 2, that's the goal. At least 2, you know? So we have like 8 signed contract. That's what we need to do, guys. We just need to push a little bit harder and don't accept the no and get to know why. That's why you are in Ajay's calls, because it's not like I'm paying him and he's not cheap. He's a pretty good guy. Solid questions. He's like sharp, very sharp, way sharper than I am. And that's why I hired him to help us. And I need every single one of you to start sending calls to him. By next week, I need Sheeny and Joy to send me a call so we can send it to him to see what could we have done better. And that's not, I don't want your best calls. I want your worst calls, right? Your best calls, even your best calls when they don't accept. I just want a call that will be like, you can learn from it. That's what I'm saying. Not the call that they accept the offer. A call that they will like, I think I might be able to get more money for it. You know, things like that. Sounds good? Oh yeah, and the problem, like, you gotta explain it to the sellers. If someone passed away, it's not easy. It's not easy. We can try to help you. We're gonna help you as much as we can, but we can't guarantee. That's the first thing, right? We can't guarantee these people.
Yes.
And make it a big deal. It's a big deal. Sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's hard.
Yeah.
We're not gonna know. All right, cool. Does anyone have any questions? Anything that you want to talk about?
Not on my part, sir.
Yes, no, sir.
Joy?
Me too, sir. No, sir.
Okay, we need to get more contracts. The goal should be 2 per month per VA, right? Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.